What you're about to hear isn't gossip. It's madness, a real-life meltdown playing out in public. Live, raw, and completely unfiltered, because just hours ago, the internet erupted. A shocking video surfaced showing Boosie in a moment that fans never expected, standing beside none other than Sexyy, the rap world's most unapologetically wild star. At first, it looked innocent. But then the footage shifted. A few gestures, a few words, a look that said too much. And within minutes, social media exploded, turning a short clip into a full-blown scandal. Boosie's reaction? A complete meltdown. Rants on live. Tweets flying. Phone calls leaked. He swore it was edited. Fake. Taken out of context. But fans weren't buying it, because in the video, Boosie wasn't just caught, he looked exposed. Not just emotionally, but reputationally. Now the internet's divided. Was this a setup? A trap? Or the start of something deeper, a hidden connection between Boosie and Sexyy that the industry never wanted out? One thing's for sure, this isn't just another viral clip. This is a career earthquake shaking one of hip-hop's most unpredictable figures. Stay tuned, because in the next few minutes, we'll peel back every frame of that footage, every reaction, and every hidden motive that turned a night of fun into a digital firestorm that could rewrite Boosie's legacy forever. It began like any other wild night in the hip-hop world, a blur of flashing lights, flashing diamonds, and egos too big for the room. Boosie had been spotted in Atlanta, attending one of those exclusive after-hour industry parties where stars mingle, secrets are whispered, and every move is watched. In that kind of room, everything is performance until something slips. At around 2:47 a.m., a clip surfaced online, only 9 seconds long, filmed from a bad angle, a little grainy. But those 9 seconds were enough to break the internet. The footage showed Boosie sitting close to Sexyy, both laughing, bodies leaning in like two people who shared more than jokes. At first, it looked harmless, two rappers having fun. But when someone slowed it down, frame by frame, things began to look different. The way she leaned in, the way he smiled, the way his hand rested just a little too long on her shoulder. A whisper, a flash of light from her jewelry, and then the clip cut to black. 9 seconds. That was all it took. By morning, it was everywhere. The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Every caption said the same thing. Boosie and Sexyy getting real close last night. The public didn't even wait for context. They decided what the clip meant, and it wasn't good for Boosie, because just weeks earlier, he'd been online talking about loyalty, morals, and keeping private life off the internet. Now the same man was being caught in what looked like a late-night moment he didn't want the world to see. The irony was too perfect. The memes wrote themselves. By noon, Boosie had gone live on Instagram. His voice was sharp, his energy frantic. He wasn't laughing anymore. "Man, that clip fake, dog. Y'all know people out here trying to play with my name." He yelled into his phone. He said it was edited, old, taken out of context, anything but real. But his words sounded desperate, not convincing. Fans compared the outfit he wore in the clip to photos from that very night. Same shirt, same chain, same tattoo on his wrist. There was no escaping the evidence. The hashtag Boosie meltdown started trending. The more he denied, the more people believed it. He jumped into comment sections, arguing with fans, threatening to sue blogs, posting screenshots, deleting them minutes later. The anger was raw, but online, anger only fuels the fire. The internet smelled blood and it wanted more. While Boosie ranted, Sexyy stayed silent. No tweets, no posts. Just one picture on Instagram, sunglasses on, smirking, captioned, "Can't fake real energy." That one line sent the internet spiraling. Was she confirming something? Mocking him? Playing into the drama? Nobody knew, but everybody guessed. Suddenly, the story wasn't just about a clip, it was about power. A rising female star versus an older male rapper trying to control the narrative. The tables had turned, and the crowd was loving it. Boosie, once the unfiltered voice of the streets, was now the punchline of the same online culture he used to mock. Then came the theories. Some fans swore it was a publicity stunt, a way to push a secret collaboration. Others said it was a setup, that someone from Boosie's own team leaked the clip to ruin him. And then there was the darkest theory, that a rival label orchestrated the leak to embarrass him after he turned down a deal tied to Sexyy Red's management. An anonymous insider even told an Atlanta blog that clip didn't just leak, it was dropped. Someone wanted Boosie to break, and he did. Whether true or not, it fit the moment too perfectly. Boosie's meltdown wasn't random. It felt provoked. By that night, the video had hit 30 million views. News outlets ran headlines like "Boosie exposed" and "Boosie loses it after viral footage." The story was out of his control now. Behind the scenes, people close to him said he wasn't sleeping. He was pacing, calling friends, replaying the clip over and over. He reportedly gathered his team, demanding to know who was in that room. "Find who had that camera out. Somebody playing with me right now," he shouted. But deep down, he knew the truth once something hits the internet. It's unstoppable. Fans split into two camps. Some defended him, saying it was harmless, that Boosie was just being Boosie. Others turned on him completely, calling him a hypocrite for preaching morals while breaking his own rules. People began posting old interviews where he criticized other rappers for acting out for clout. Those same words now played back over footage of his meltdown. One viral comment read, "Boosie just got caught in his own advice." And through it all, the industry stayed silent. No rapper defended him. No celebrity spoke up. Everyone watched the drama unfold quietly, safely, from a distance. In a business built on loyalty, Boosie suddenly had none. Then, just when things couldn't get stranger, a podcast host claimed to have the uncut version of the video. She said what the world saw was only half the truth. Her tweet read, "Y'all ain't ready for the full video. When you see it, you'll realize who really set who up." The internet lost its mind. Now it wasn't just scandal, it was mystery. Some fans believed the full video would clear Boosie's name. Others said it would finish him for good. Either way, anticipation grew. But as days passed, the uncut version never surfaced. Just silence. More speculation. More chaos. By then, Boosie had stopped posting. He deleted his rants. His team went dark. But the damage was already done. His name had been trending for 36 hours straight. His reputation was hanging by a thread. Then something eerie happened. The original video disappeared from the account that posted it. Deleted. Gone. No explanation. But the reposts remained, spreading faster than ever. Fans noticed a burner account rumored to belong to someone close to Boosie post one cryptic message. They wanted to embarrass him. They succeeded, but they don't know what's coming next. And that's when everything shifted. The story stopped being about a clip and started being about control. About manipulation, image, power, and payback. Because this wasn't just a scandal, this was a war for reputation. And Boosie, the same man who built a career on defiance, was not about to let anyone script his downfall without a fight. But little did anyone know, his next move wouldn't just shake social media, it would drag the entire industry into a new kind of chaos. Because what Boosie did next would turn a viral embarrassment into a full-blown cultural explosion. The meltdown was just the beginning. The revenge was coming next. The silence didn't last long. 2 days after the meltdown, Boosie came back online, but this time, it wasn't the same frantic energy. His voice was lower, calmer, almost too calm. You could see it in his eyes. Something had shifted. "8, he began, staring straight into the camera. "Y'all wanna play with Boosie name? Bet. Let's talk about what really going on." The live started slow. But within minutes, tens of thousands of people joined. You could feel the tension through the screen. This wasn't the rant of a man out of control, it was the speech of a man who'd decided to burn everything down. Boosie began dropping hints. He said people in the industry had been setting traps, that they'd been trying to silence him ever since he spoke out about fake loyalty and industry puppets. He even named names half-coded, half-blatant, talking about executives who owed favors, producers who leaked clips, artists who smiled in your face but played dirty behind closed doors. "You think this about a video?" he said, leaning in. "This about control. They trying to make me the villain so they can protect the little stars." The comments exploded. Viewers were torn between disbelief and shock. Some said he was paranoid. Others swore he was exposing something deeper. Because in the music world, scandals don't just happen, they're engineered. And Boosie, intentionally or not, had pulled the curtain back. A few hours later, another twist hit. A behind-the-scenes assistant, one who had allegedly been at that same party, posted a cryptic tweet. Boosie wasn't lying. Cameras were rolling all night. Not everyone knew that one tweet was enough to send the internet spiraling again. If people were secretly recording, that meant the leak might have been planned, not an accident, but an ambush. Fans started digging. Old clips surfaced of Sexyy Red talking about how some people in this game get used like pawns. The timing was too perfect to ignore. Did she know? Was she part of it? Or was she being used too? The lines blurred. No one could tell where the truth ended and manipulation began. Meanwhile, the blogs kept feeding the flames. One outlet claimed to have texts between Boosie's manager and a club promoter, messages that hinted a video might drop soon. Another said Boosie had been warned weeks earlier that someone wanted to make an example out of him. And then, almost like clockwork, the music industry's biggest PR agencies began pushing distractions. Suddenly, new celebrity feuds, random leaks, and surprise album announcements flooded timelines. It was the oldest trick in the book: bury the scandal under bigger noise. But this time, Boosie didn't go quiet. He doubled down. A day later, he released a freestyle on his YouTube channel, raw, unfiltered, angry. In the lyrics, he called out snakes with contracts, friends turned spies, and labels that record lives. Every line hit like a bullet. It wasn't just music, it was confession and accusation rolled into one. Within hours, the freestyle hit 1 million views. Fans were dissecting every bar, claiming he was calling out major names without saying them directly. It felt like more than a song, it was a declaration of war. But the war had collateral damage. Behind the scenes, sponsors started pulling out. A liquor brand quietly dropped his name from a campaign. A festival he was headlining announced scheduling changes. Even his upcoming feature with another major artist mysteriously vanished from streaming previews. The pattern was clear: Boosie was being iced out. And that's when the real panic began. Because every time someone tried to silence him, his audience grew louder. People began posting #LetBoosieSpeak. Podcasts started dissecting the power dynamics in hip-hop. Commentators began drawing parallels between Boosie's situation and other artists who had been blackballed after crossing the wrong people. The narrative had shifted. Boosie wasn't just a scandal anymore. He was becoming a symbol of rebellion. Meanwhile, new layers of the story began to unfold. A leaked group chat, allegedly from someone connected to the party, surfaced online. It showed a conversation between 3 people talking about getting footage and saving it for the right time. One message even read, "If he keeps stalking Slick online, drop it." It wasn't verified, but it didn't need to be. The timing matched too perfectly. Then, late one night, a new video surfaced, grainier, darker, only a few seconds long, showing Boosie arguing with someone off camera. You could hear his voice, angry, saying, "You think I don't know who set that up?" Before the clip abruptly cut off, the internet went wild. Was this the missing piece? The uncut version the podcaster teased? Or just another piece of digital bait designed to keep the drama alive? Nobody knew. But one thing was certain: someone wanted Boosie broken. And yet, through all the chaos, his fanbase only got stronger. The same people who used to laugh at his rants were now defending him fiercely. They saw something bigger: a man fighting back against an industry that eats its own. They called it Boosie versus the machine. But Boosie wasn't just fighting for his name anymore. He was fighting for control of his story. He began teasing a documentary, Uncut Truth. The real story they don't want you to hear. The trailer was short but chilling. Static, black and white footage. Flashes of headlines, sound bites of his meltdown, and one haunting line: "They recorded me without my consent. Now I'm recording everything." That one sentence flipped the narrative completely. He wasn't the victim of exposure, he was becoming the exposer. Then came another twist. A journalist revealed that one of the people at that party had deep ties to a major streaming company. A company that, ironically, had just signed a promotion deal with Sexyy Red's label. The connection was too close to ignore. Suddenly, what looked like gossip now felt like strategy, like Boosie had been caught in the crossfire of business deals disguised as scandals. Fans began asking hard questions. Who benefits from Boosie's downfall? Who profits from the clicks? Who's really pulling the strings? By this point, the story had gone global. Entertainment pages in the UK and Canada were covering it. Talk shows debated whether Boosie was a victim or his own worst enemy. Every new headline twisted the knife deeper, but every denial, every freestyle, every cryptic post kept people watching. And then, 1 week after the clip first dropped, something unexpected happened. Boosie went live again. But this time, he wasn't angry. He was smiling, calm, collected. He said, "Y'all think I lost? Nah, I just started watching who I let in my circle. And guess what? I found out exactly who filmed that video." The comments exploded. Who was it? A friend? A rival? A label spy? He didn't say. He just smirked, leaned back, and ended the live with 5 words that made the internet stop. "I'm about to expose everything." The chat went silent. Viewers knew what that meant. If Boosie really had proof, if he really knew who set him up, the next move wouldn't just be revenge. It would be revelation. And that's where the story turns. Because the next chapter wouldn't be about a clip, a scandal, or a meltdown. It would be about the dark machinery of fame itself, how power is built, broken, and sold. The Boosie drama was no longer just entertainment. It was evolution. But before the world could process what was coming next, one more video dropped, and this time, it didn't come from Boosie. It came from inside the industry itself. And once that hit the internet, there was no turning back. It was just after midnight when the new video hit the internet. No caption, no watermark, no source. Just 36 seconds that would flip the entire narrative upside down. The clip opened with a dimly lit studio, voices in the background, laughter, the faint sound of music playing from a phone speaker. Then, a man's voice, deep, distinct, unmistakable. Boosie's, but he wasn't angry. He was calm. Almost rehearsed. "You got it ready?" he said. A second voice replied, "Yeah, everything rolling." And then, the camera panned for just a split second to someone holding a phone. A woman with bright red hair. Sexy red. The internet froze. Had she been in on the setup? Was this proof that she knew the cameras were rolling that night, that the leak wasn't an accident at all? Theories exploded in seconds. One camp claimed it was fake, an AI edit. A deep fake meant to stir chaos. The other swore it was real, a prelude to the viral clip that started it all. By morning, Boosie Exposed was trending again, but this time, the narrative was reversed. Boosie wasn't the hunted anymore. He was the hunter. Within hours, his team released a statement, not through mainstream media, but through his own channel, raw, unfiltered, direct. The message was simple: there's more footage. And when the world sees it, they'll understand who the real puppet masters are. People didn't just listen. They believed. For the first time since the scandal began, Boosie wasn't being dragged, he was being defended. Fans flooded his comments. Expose them all. Stay dangerous. Boosie was right from day one. Even other artists began to speak out. One rapper posted, "They did me the same way, record you, edit you, and flip the story for clout." Another tweeted, "The industry don't cancel you for lies. They cancel you for truth." Something was changing. The narrative of a meltdown was morphing into a movement. Meanwhile, Sexyy Red's camp went silent. No posts, no interviews. Her team reportedly canceled a podcast appearance last minute, citing schedule issues, but behind the scenes, rumors said her label was in crisis mode. They feared Boosie might release the full version of that night, the version that could damage more than reputations. Because if the leaked footage really showed that the cameras were planted, it wouldn't just hurt one artist, it could expose the entire operation. And that's when Boosie made his next move. He uploaded a trailer. Black background, white text. The truth coming soon. It wasn't just another freestyle or rant. It was a documentary, Boosie's version of events, pieced together from security footage, messages, and eyewitness accounts. The teaser ended with his voice echoing through static. They thought I was crazy. Now they gone call me right. The internet lost it. Comment sections filled with wild speculation. Was Boosie about to drop names? Show receipts? Or was it all just another PR stunt? Nobody knew, but everyone was watching. And that's when the machine struck back. Just hours after the trailer dropped, something strange happened. Boosie's Instagram was suspended. His YouTube temporarily flagged for content review. Old interviews began disappearing from search results. Fans noticed instantly. They're trying to erase him. One comment read, "This is censorship in real time," but Boosie had anticipated it. He jumped on a backup page within minutes, laughing into the camera. "They deleting pages now? I told y'all." That mean they scared. He wasn't wrong, because not even a full day later, new screenshots surfaced, messages between two PR managers discussing damage control and how to redirect narrative heat. One line stood out: "Push Sexyy as victim. Paint Boosie as unstable." It always works. That one leak broke the internet again, suddenly. The story wasn't just about two artists, it was about manipulation, corporate control, and the quiet wars that shape every viral moment we consume. Boosie had started a cultural wildfire. Talk shows debated him. Podcasts broke down every second of the leaked video. Even political commentators, yes, political, weighed in on the deeper symbolism of what it meant for a black artist to fight back against the system that built him. Meanwhile, Sexyy Red was still silent. But silence in this world speaks volumes. Every day that passed without her response only fueled suspicion. And then, almost out of nowhere, her camp finally released a statement. She had no knowledge of any recording that night. She and Boosie were friends, nothing more. The footage was leaked without consent, but by then, it was too late. The audience had made up its mind. People didn't trust the statement. They didn't trust the labels. They trusted Boosie. He had become the underdog hero, the man fighting back against the invisible forces behind the fame. Still, the deeper he dug, the more dangerous it got. Two journalists who had been investigating the leak claimed their files had been wiped after an online breach. Another said an anonymous caller warned her to drop the Boosie piece. And then came the most chilling part. Boosie himself posted a message late one night. "If anything happens to me, y'all already know who did it." The post sent chills across social media. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't a lyric. It sounded like a warning. For the first time, fans realized this wasn't just entertainment, it was survival. The next day, rumors spread that Boosie's documentary had been pulled from its streaming deal. Insiders whispered that networks were too scared to air it. But Boosie went live again, fearless as ever. "I don't need no platform," he said. "I am the platform. Y'all gon' see this one way or another." And with that, he announced the film would premiere independently and censored directly on his personal channel. The countdown began. Millions waited. Blogs refreshed. Every influencer, every gossip site, every music page braced for what Boosie was about to unleash. But before the premiere could drop, something unexpected happened. The final video, the lost clip, leaked. It didn't come from Boosie. It didn't come from the blogs. It came from inside the label itself. 30 seconds of pure chaos. Boosie yelling, a red-lit room, people scattering, phones in hand. And then, a voice, faint but clear, whispering, "Cut it before he sees." That line changed everything. If the clip was real, it proved what Boosie had been saying all along. He was set up. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Supporters rallied, hashtags trended, and the same media outlets that mocked him weeks ago were now scrambling to reinvestigate. But Boosie wasn't celebrating. He posted one final message. "This ain't about me anymore. It's about how they use us and how we keep letting them." And just like that, the live stream went black. No outro, no warning, just silence. Because for Boosie, the war wasn't over, it had only changed shape. The clip that started as gossip had become a symbol, a mirror showing the world what happens when truth meets manipulation in the age of clicks and clout. And as the dust settled, one question echoed louder than all the noise: if Boosie was right, how many others were silenced before him?